Hello everyone, my name is Faizul and today I am here to discuss UPSC Mains 2025 General Studies Paper 1, and in this lecture I will be taking Indian Society part. So first of all let me tell you that today in this year UPSC has asked 7 questions from the Indian Society portion. That's why in my classes I have been telling all of you that don't take this subject lightly. This is a low hanging fruit. By studying and by revising and by practicing, you can fetch more marks in Indian society part as compared to the geography part, as compared to the history. Their syllabus is very broad. You will have to give more time for the preparation. But by preparing Indian society part, you have to give very less time to prepare it. You should make a short note to prepare it, and you can very easily fetch few good marks, and this may enhance your score as well as improve your rank in UPSC also. So I am going to start the discussion. So first of all, let's see the question number 1. Question number 1 is regarding the smart city mission. As I have told you in the class also that the smart city mission was launched in 2015. So it has completed its 10 year. I was telling in the class that this is very important for UPSC. If any scheme has completed 10 years, it is very high chance that they will ask you. So I told you while teaching society as well as while teaching economy, in both the section, that prepared it very thoroughly. While teaching urbanization, I told you about all the points about the smart cities, why a smart city was introduced, what are the benefits of a smart city. But you people just memorize that smart city was introduced in 2015 and for the urban development and for 100 cities. But you have to study in detail. Otherwise, you won't be able to answer such questions. So now let us see what was the question. Question is, how does a smart city in India address the issues of urban poverty and distributive justice? See, they have asked how smart city is addressing the issues of urban poverty as well as distributive justice. So first of all, you should know what is the urban poverty. So urban poverty means poverty in the urban areas. And what is poverty? Poverty is basically deprivation. Deprivation of what? Deprivation of basic necessities like healthcare, food, clothing, shelter, lack of income, employment opportunity. These all things are the poverty. If this is prevailing in urban area, that is urban poverty. So you have to tell in your answer how that a smart city mission is going to address this urban poverty. And next part in this question was the distributive justice. So distributive justice means what? Distributive justice basically means that fair and equitable distribution of resources to all the people without any kind of discrimination. Means country's resources should be fairly and equitably distributed in among all the section of the society based on the equitability, not equally distributed. So that is distributive justice, means whether people are able to participate in the process of development, in the process of governance, whether they are getting the benefit of development, whether they are getting the fruit of the benefit of development. So we are going to see what should be written in the introduction as well as what should be written in the main body. So in introduction part, you can basically tell smart city mission was launched in June 2015. See, I was telling you this smart city mission has completed 10 years. So why this city was launched, this smart city mission was launched, you have to basically tell why this smart city was launched in the introduction. See, I have told in the class also if you want to introduce any question, you can also think in this dimension, whether you should give some data, whether you should think why this particular scheme was introduced, and you can also give irony based introduction if the question is about the irony. So first in this mission, smart city mission was launched in June 2015 for what? To improve the quality of 100 cities. And how? By leveraging the technologies, using the information communication technology and making urban areas citizen friendly and sustainable also. So that was the reason, motive behind the smart city mission. So you could write this. And now come to the body part. What should be written in the body part? See, in body part, make two heading. First heading should be how smart city mission is addressing the urban poverty. So your first heading should be how smart city mission is going to address the urban poverty. So see, one of the component of smart city mission was affordable and sustainable housing for all socio-economic groups in urban areas. So what will happen? This will provide the affordable and sustainable housing for the poor people in urban areas. So they will, those people who are living in the slum areas, they will get house. And for this, you can also give the government scheme to fetch more marks or extra marks. For example, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana urban area, it has sanctioned 1.2 crore house. You can add few data. I was telling you in the class that ki make a separate notebook for the data and write down the data to recall in your mains exam. Now, what are the other benefits? Ensuring adequate water supply and clean water as well as sanitation. That is also a component of smart city mission. So, poor people in urban area, they will get adequate water supply. They will get clean and drinking water. They will focus on sanitation. Again, smart city mission also focus on public transportation, which is the biggest problem in the Indian cities, especially when you are in Bengaluru or in Delhi, you will stuck in the traffic. So rich people as well as poor people both are stuck in the traffic. So if improved public transport system, this will give the opportunity to the poor people. Opportunity for what? Opportunity to get more employment. Suppose if you are living in a particular area and your office is far more from your residing area, you are residing in another place and your office is at least 15 to 20 or 30 kilometers from your area. If you are getting improved public transportation system, it will reduce your transportation cost, it will enhance your saving. So for poor people, improved public transportation will reduce their transportation cost, it will reduce their saving, it will reduce their poverty, as well as it will also provide employment opportunity to poor people. Other component in a smart city mission is it will also try to ensure 24/7 electricity availability. See, electricity availability, for example, there is a small vendor who is making tea and surviving in the urban area. So if there will be 24/7 electricity availability in the urban areas, he will get electricity connection. He can store his milk for 2 days or 1 day without spoiling the milk. He can make tea and sell it to the people. He will earn some money. His poverty will reduce. Again, smart city has also a component to provide quality education as well as skill development. So it also focus on the quality education as well as skill development. So this will what? This will provide employment opportunity. This will create a opportunity for the poor people in urban area to get employment and work. So this is how smart city mission, if implemented, will address the urban poverty. Now come to the second part of the urban poverty. Second part of the question. Second part of the question is how smart city mission is going to ensure the distributive justice. So I was telling you that distributive justice means what? Fair and equitable distribution of resources to all the people. Means whatever is going in the country, whether it is development process, whether it is governance, people should have access of the facilities. People should have the participation. There should be development which include all the people. That is distributive justice. So how smart city mission is going to do this? Smart city mission is using GIS mapping for what? To ensure that everybody in the city have the access to the essential services. So that is one of the components. Second, smart city mission also ensure people's participation. How? By engaging the citizens, by asking them, by consulting them through various digital platforms, through various mobile apps, etc. Even in Lucknow, you can see there is fair space allocation to the vendor zone. If you are from Lucknow, you can, and even in Muradabad and even in Delhi, you can see that there is fair space allocation for the vendor zone also. Means those who are street vendor, for them there is special construction so that they can sell their product without facing the exploitation done by the police, local police. So fair space allocation for the street vendors to sell their fruit, to sell their items, to sell their product will lead to what? Will give that person an opportunity to take part in the development of the city, to earn in, to reside and live in that city and live a good and healthy and happy life. Next, it also focus on sustainable communities. Sustainable community means it is also creating green space. See, there is problem in the urban area of the lack of green space, a lack of that infrastructure which is benefiting all the residents of the city. So green space means there will be a green park, construction of the green park. Construction of green park will lead to what? It will give opportunity to all the people living in the colony, living in the city to have a sustainable lifestyle. They can visit the park, they can start jogging, they can start running or walking, they can do exercise, they can access the green infrastructure, green space in the city, and this will benefit to all. Some of the cities under smart city mission are also constructing green park. They are increasing afforestation in the city area. So this will benefit all the residents without any discrimination. Next is enhancing public safety and security through CCTV surveillance. See, safety security of the citizen is the most important thing which a city should provide to its citizen, to all the citizen, whether they are poor, whether they are rich. So by installing CCTV and by ensuring public safety, the smart city mission is ensuring distributive justice. So that is how you should write, yeah, what you could have written in your answer like this. And now come to the conclusion, ki what should be written in the conclusion in this part. So you can write that smart city mission is for what? For modernity in the urban infrastructure. So along with the modernity, it should also have the inclusivity, means it should not left anyone behind the development. Otherwise, the concept of smart city will be failed. So smart city must balance among between the modernity, between the inclusivity, and it should ensure that the benefit arises from the smart city, yeah, development arises from the smart city should reach to all the people in the society. Clear? Now come to the next question. Next question is, I don't know why UPSC is playing like this. Next question, I am thinking that they should have asked this question whether in GS paper 2 in the governance part or whether in the ethics part, but I am sure that you must have prepared your governance part as well as ethics part also. So basically this question I think they should have asked in the governance or the ethics part, but they have asked in the society, so we have to discuss it. But basically we prepare such questions in governance part as well as in the ethics part. So the question was, ethos of the civil service in India stand for the combination of professionalism and nationalistic consciousness. Elucidate. Elucidate means you have to explain it by giving example also. So you must have learned many examples. I am also going to discuss how you could have written this answer by using example. So ye first of all, you should write about the civil services in India. What is civil services? Yeah, any famous quotation by any national freedom fighter why civil service is important in India, or what are the constitutional provision if you want to write articles. Article 3 want to say article 300 300. First of all, you should write about the civil services in India. So you can use any quotation by the national freedom fighter. For example, you could have used Sardar Patel, what Sardar Patel has said about the civil service in India. Then you have to write how the ethos means functioning, how civil servant should function. What should be the attitude and functioning style of civil services in India? So question is saying that it should be a combination of professionalism as well as nationalistic consciousness. So now let's see what we could have written in this, in the answer of this question. See, I was telling you you can start by writing this ki Indian civil services termed as the steel frame of India by the Sardar Patel. So you can use this, and you can also write that ki ethos of the civil service in India is a blend of professionalism. Professionalism means ki how they should work. They should work in order to ensure neutrality, efficiency, integrity, and accountability, as well as they should have nationalistic consciousness, means they should also focus on the important of goal of the nation, ideas of the freedom fighters, idea of the freedom struggle, ideas of the constitution, idea of the justice, equity, and welfare. They should rise above all the above all religion, above all region, culture, language, and they should work for the idea of India. That is what this question was about. Now let's see what you could have written in the body part of this question. See, you should have taken two heading. First is how civil service is ensuring civil service ethos should be professionalism in the civil service. Professionalism means what? How the civil service is expected to work, how the civil servants should have the attitude to work. So they should be competent enough. There should be, their commitment should be, competence means ability to do work. They should be efficient, means they are using minimum resources and giving maximum output. They should be impartial, because India is a country having different language, different religion, different caste, so different political parties. India is a multi parties political system. So they should have all these things. They should have competence to solve the problem. They should be efficient. They should be impartial, and they have the skills and knowledge to perform the various duties, even if government is not supporting them. Government is running out of the resources. There is scarcity of resources in this country. So there are few civil servants, like you must have heard about the Armstrong Palme. He have built 100-kilometer road without taking the government support, by crowdfunding. So that is how civil servant should are expected to perform in India, and they must follow rules and regulations. Otherwise, they will indulge in the corruption. So if they are following rules and regulation, they will stay away from the corruption. They should act with the integrity. For example, again you can write about the TN session. The most famous quote of TN session is ki, I write politician in my breakfast. See the integrity of this man, and this man is responsible for the reform in the election in India. So we need civil servants like this. You can also write the example of Kiran Bedi, ki how she reformed the Tihar jail. And most important thing, civil servants should be neutral, and they should provide free, fair, and frank advice to the politicians. See, India is a ministerial responsibility country, where here for any act of civil servants, minister is responsible. So civil servants are supposed to provide free, fair, and frank advice to the ministers. Even Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel has said that ki, I want my secretary to say no to me, not always yes to me. I don't want yes man in my as my secretary. And next important thing, civil servants should have accountability. Accountability means ki if they are not going to perform their assigned work or assigned duty, there should be a legal punishment to punish them. So civil servants should ensure their internal accountability, as well as there should be a system, there should be an attitude which support that accountability of civil servants should be fixed. Again, civil servants should have objectivity. Objectivity means taking the decision without any biasness, without any emotions, means taking the decision based on the merit, because civil servants in this country are going to work a lot. they have to give tender. So if they are not objective, they will give tender to those who are incompetent or inefficient. For example, you can see the case of SSC. Earlier, exam of SSC was conducted by the TCS, but now it has been given to that company which is banned in many states. So you could have written all these things. Next part is in this question is how strong nationalistic consciousness is should be ensured by the civil servants. See, the civil servants should have mindset, ethos, and their functioning style that should focus on the commitment. They should be committed to the unity and integrity of the nation. And in this 21st century, when India is facing many crises like separatist activity, like insurgency in the northeast, like Khalistani movement, so civil servant should have the commitment to ensure that in any condition we are not going to compromise with the unity and integrity of the nation. Clear? They should be dedicated enough to work for the welfare of the people. There are many people in India. For example, our rank in the global hunger index is 105. So it is the responsibility of the civil servant. They should be dedicated to work for the welfare of its people. And as I have told you that India is multi-religious, multi-linguistic country. So civil servants are not supposed to take the favor of any region, religion, language or any sect. They should rise above all these regional, linguistic and sectarian loyalty, and they should serve the nation. And there are many areas, remote area in this country. There are very challenging area. For example, Vidarbha area and Saurashtra area, Bundelkhand area. These are the very remote and challenging area. Few districts in the Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, where civil servants are not interested to work. So ethos of civil servant service is also saying that civil servant should have a strong nationalistic consciousness. They should put nation above all things. They should be committed for the inclusivity and welfare of the people. So you could have written all these things to fetch a good marks by giving example also. I have given you multiple examples to add example in such questions. Now let's see what should be the conclusion in this question. See, you could have written that civil service ethos means it means professionalism as well as nationalistic consciousness. So professionalism means what? How civil servants are going to perform, how civil servants are going to work. So professionalism deals with how civil service is going to provide the governance. And nationalistic consciousness means why they should work like this, why they should function like this. So professionalism means civil service provides how of the governance, while nationalistic consciousness means civil service provides the why civil servants should perform in such a manner. Clear? So there should be a synergy between the two dimension. One is professionalism as well as nationalistic consciousness for the Indian civil services. Clear? Now come to the next question. Next question is, do you think that globalization result only an aggressive consumer culture? Justify your answer. Clear? Direct question which I have discussed in the class about the globalization, impact of globalization on the Indian society. You can watch the lectures at your portal as well as you can prepare your notes also. Clear? So what is the impact? See, basically this is asking how globalization has led to the aggressive consumer culture in India, and you have to justify that whether it is only the aggressive consumer culture or something else also. So there is two things I have told you in the class. Globalization no doubt has led to the aggressive consumer culture in India, but at the same time globalization has also highlighted the Indian products in the global market. So in this question we are also going to write two part. First one is, let's see what you should have written in the introduction of such question. See, basically in such type of question you can give the definition of the globalization. What is globalization? I have told you in the class and I have dictated in the class ki write a good introduction of the globalization. Any good introduction. For example, globalization is interconnectedness and integration of the global economies, global culture, society, and this integration of culture, economy and society have led to the aggressive consumer culture in India. Because due to globalization, many multinational brands, multinational companies have arrived in India. Before globalization, there were very few multinational company in the India. Our economy was not open, but once our economy was open after the LPG reform, many multinational companies have arrived in India. So you could have written any good example, any good definition of globalization. Ki globalization is the integration, interconnectedness and interlinking of the culture, society, economy, polity, etc. Clear? And now come to the body part of this question. What you could have written in the body part. See, first we have to agree that globalization has created consumer culture, no doubt. We can see that and substantiate our point by giving more examples. For example, there is a process of localization or McDonaldization. How? You can see the outlet of these companies, McDonald, Domino's, in almost any city in India, even in tier 2, tier 3 city. So, arrival of this company itself led to the consumer culture in India. And now people are changing their preferences. There is mall culture or the brand culture. People visit mall, people run behind the brand culture. So they are purchasing not because of the necessity, they are purchasing because of their desire, because to show off that we have purchased this from that mall and we are wearing cloth of this brand. So this has led to the change in the preference of the people. People now start to believe in showing off that I am having the iPhone, I am wearing Louis Vuitton bag, I am carrying Louis Vuitton bag. So this also led to the aggressive consumer culture in India. Other, mass marketing. Mass marketing means advertisement that shape desires, and this led to the impulsive purchasing. We are seeing mass marketing, we are seeing advertisement. Our celebrities are doing advertisement to promote such brand. So it shape a desire in our mind that we should also own such brand, such product which our celebrities are using, and this led to the creation of impulsive purchasing in our mind. We start purchasing without thinking about the consequences. Though we are not able, still we are purchasing, just because due to the mass marketing that desire has created in our mind, and this led to the impulsive purchasing. And next is cultural homogenization, that is replacing the local food practices or the local product. For example, if you visit any mall, you are going to order the burger or pizza because everyone else there is ordering burger and pizza. So this is culture homogenization, replacing our food, replacing our cloth. Now no one is even trying to wear the local cloth. If they are going to visit the mall, they will automatically start wearing the foreign clothes, foreign design. And one more important point is the instant gratification. Instant gratification means we are trying to give pleasure to our senses. For example, whenever you see a pizza having extra cheese pizza, the your mouth will start watering. You will be forced by your mind. Dopamine will create in your mind and will be forced by your mind that we should purchase the pizza, we should purchase the burger and we should consume it, because it gives us instant gratification. It satisfies our hunger immediately. Clear? So this is also a reason that in India globalization has created aggressive consumer culture. One more important thing is the digital consumerism. See, for example, e-commerce companies, for example, Amazon, now they are offering sale in 1 year or 2 year or 6 month. कि we are going to offer 50% off, 60% off. So whether we need that product or not, they are giving coupons. You can write the example. He purchase this and get the benefit of this. This is nudge economy, which I told you in the economy class. It impact our behavior. Whenever we see that Amazon is giving us offer, whether we need that product or not, our mind tell us that yes, we should avail the benefit. We should purchase this product. And last but not least, the EMI driven lifestyle of our youth. In India now, when youth start earning, they start purchasing instead of focusing on saving. Why? Because there is easy access to digital credit. One click credit is also there in the market. So people are now getting easy access to digital credit. They are living their lifestyle based on the EMI. See, paying EMI is not a bad thing, but that payment of EMI should be productive. Means if you have purchased house, if you have purchased any car, but taking digital credit to purchase those services and goods which is not compulsory for your survival, not compulsory for your necessity, that is bad. You are earning 20,000 rupee and you are using iPhone of 1 lakh rupee, that is bad. If your earning is 1 lakh, 2 lakh per month, use iPhone. But your earning is 20,000 per month and you are using phone of 1 lakh rupees. You are not earning enough to drive a car, still you are purchasing car on the EMI. That is the problem. Your salary is very less. You are earning 20-30,000, but you have started wearing branded clothes. That is the problem. So problem is not the payment of EMI. Problem is your earning. Your earning should be enough to pay the EMI. So all these things have led to the consumer culture in India. And this is due to the globalization, because due to globalization, multinational companies have arrived in India, and that their marketing strategy, their digital presence have brainwashed our mind and compel us to purchase their products. Next, now we have to counter this kid. No, that is not solely about the consumerism. Globalization is not solely about the consumerism. It has also led to the social and cultural exchange. For example, yoga. For example, Bollywood's international reach. Even our Bollywood stars have their fan in the Arabian countries. SRK has big following in the Gulf countries. Even in European countries. Yoga, International Yoga Day on 21st June, celebrated all over the world. That is showing what? India's soft power. Clear? Now, next benefit of the globalization is, which is beyond consumerism, is the information and knowledge sharing. For example, you could have read the news about the NISAR. That is the technology transfer from the NASA to ISRO. BrahMos missile, now its production is in Lucknow. So it is also a technology transfer from Russia to India. Clear? Even globalization is also providing economic opportunity to India's IT sector. India's IT sector is contributing to 8% of GDP through this globalization or global integration. So that is how globalization is also benefiting India. Even Indian engineers, software engineers are known as cyber coolie because they are getting their employment from the USA and European countries. And it is the globalization which is also creating resistance to consumerism, to oppose the consumerism. Why? Via sustainable movements. For example, India's push for the organic farming, it is globally accepted now. And also there is the benefit of globalization for India. Globalization means globalization as well as localization. I have told you to use such word in your answer. So globalization means what? Promoting Indian local product with a global favor. For example, now in Western country also they are wearing jeans with the kurta. So that is what? That is globalization. So this is also benefit of the globalization. So it is not that globalization has only result about the aggressive consumerism in India. You should have also counter by using such statement. Now come to the conclusion part of this question. See, you could have written very easily that globalization does contribute to the consumerism. I told you, yes, we agree that globalization does contribute to consumerism, a consumerist culture. Clear? But globalization is also playing a role in the integration of cultural forces. It can lead to both homogenization as well as diversification. So overall, globalization is like a double-edged sword. It depends on how the government or how the people are going to accept or work for this. Clear? Now come to the next question. Next question is basically you can include it as the geography part, yeah, society part, whatever you want. Okay. I have explained this concept in the class while I was teaching population in the Indian society. Okay. In that population and issues associated with the population, I have also discussed about the population density, and I have dictated in the class what are the factors that led to the uneven distribution of population density in India. Is why it is that few part of India have very high population density like the Gangetic Plain, and few parts of India have very less population density like Arunachal Pradesh. So they have asked the question discuss the distribution and density of the population in Ganga river basin. Ganga river basin means Ganga and its tributary also, not only about Ganga, with special reference to what? Land, soil and water resources. See, that is the beauty of UPSC. They have given you the point in your answer. Use this point and write answer by giving example. Clear? They could have asked why population density is more in Gangetic region, but they have given you the point. Land, soil and water resources are the reason. That's why there is high population density in Ganga river basin. So that is the beauty of UPSC. They want you to select in the mains exam. Prelims is all about disqualifying you, but when it start mains, when it start interview, they want you to become an officer. So they have given you the point. So first write about the Ganga basin and then about the points. So Ganga river basin means what? Ganga river basin is Ganga river as well as its tributaries also. So you can write down that Ganga river basin is world's most densely populated region. It is one of the world's most densely populated region because of why? Because of land, soil and water resources. Now come to the points. First point is land resources. See, Ganga river basin have expansive flat alluvial plains. Plains means what? Absence of the physical barrier. There is no significant physical barrier in Ganga river basin plain. And this plain is suitable for what? Suitable for agriculture as well as farm mechanization. So in India, many population who are dependent on the agriculture, they start settle around this Ganga basin because of the plain area. Because plain area gives you the opportunity to do agriculture. Plain area gives you the opportunity for the construction because of the absence of the physical barrier. Plain area also gives the opportunity for the easy development of the transportation like roadways, railways, etc. Easy connectivity to the people. So roadways and railways density is also high in the Ganga region, Ganga basin region. So all these reasons and factors led to the high population density area in the Ganga river basin due to the plain area in the Ganga river basin. Next part is our soil resource. See, Ganga river basin area is a fertile area. Why it is fertile? Because of the alluvial soil. And you know, alluvial soil, especially the new alluvial soil, which is known as khadar. Alluvial soil are of two types, bhangar and khadar. So khadar is the new alluvial soil, and this soil is formed due to the sedimentation derived from the river, and deposition of river, and that is highly fertile soil which support many crops. And these deposition are sediments transported by the Ganga and its tributary. They are sometimes they are loamy soil having very high nutrients. So because of loamy soil, alluvial soil, especially khadar, that Ganga river basin area is highly fertile and suitable for the agriculture. It also support multi-cropping system. Especially this area support rice and wheat, the staple food crop of India. That's why many people started residing in the Ganga river basin. And that's led to the large agrarian population in India. You could have easily observed the state of UP, Bihar, West Bengal. These states are the these states have the population of the agrarian, agriculturalist. Means people in these states are mostly involved in the agriculture. So soil is another reason. Now come to the next. Next is our the water resource. See, Ganga river basin. Ganga river basin, unlike the peninsular river basins, it is a perennial river basin. Perennial means what? Perennial river basin means they have water in their river throughout the year. First, either due to the Himalayan glacier and then due to the monsoon rain. So they provide a reliable source. Throughout the year, you will get fresh water supply. Unlike the peninsular river give water supply during the monsoon rain, not throughout the year. But Ganga river basin is Himalayan river basin, and due to the Himalayan glacier and monsoon rain, Ganga provide the fresh water all out the year, throughout the year, and that is necessary for the human being to survive. And due to this, there are major canal system and extensive irrigation opportunity in the Ganga river basin area. For example, you can write the example of Upper Ganga Canal. So this led to what? This led to the density, increased population who lives in the UP, Bihar. Because they get opportunity due to the canal system, they get opportunity of irrigation. It led to the development of the agrarian population in UP, Bihar and West Bengal. So you should have written the example also to fetch few extra marks. So you could have write the example of Upper Ganga Canal. Now, domestic and industrial water need of the dense population. See, I told you कि for the survival of population, what is the most important thing? It is the water. And again, if that population is dependent on industry, so industry also need water. So domestic and industrial need both of these dense population fulfilled by the Ganga river basin. You could have written the data that more than 1/3 of India's surface water is found in the Ganga basin. So this will help you to fetch few extra marks. Now come to the conclusion part of this question. See, in conclusion, you could have written that due to the fertile soil, abundant water, Ganga river basin is a cradle of civilization and a hub of high population density. You could have given the example of states like which is the most populated, most highly densely, which state in India have highest population density. So it is Bihar and then West Bengal, and both lies in which region? In Ganga plain region. Even their density is ranging from 800 to 1100. Even if you are in Delhi, है ना? So it is much more than 800 to 1100. So why? Because of the Ganga river basin, Ganga and its tributary. Clear? Now come to the next question. Next question is about how do you account for the growing fast food industries? See, fast food industries, given that there are increased health concern in modern society. See, I have discussed this also while I was teaching food processing industry in the class. Okay, why there is growth of fast food industry in India despite having so many health concerns. Why? And we have to illustrate this by giving Indian experience example. So first of all, tell about the any data which you have noted or studied about it. For example, you could have written that ki fast food industry in India is expanding swiftly, very fast. Fast food industries in India are expanding swiftly, and this is a paradox. How this is a paradox? Paradox means two opposing things in the same frame. So paradox of what? It is time saving, no doubt. Fast food is time saving, it is convenient, but at the same time, it is also affecting our lifestyle, it is affecting our health, it led to the disease in the people in India. So first we will discuss ki how fast food industries have grown despite having so much health concern. So first we will discuss ki why fast food industry is growing in India. Clear? See, why fast food industries are growing in India despite having health concern. So first reason is the globalization. See, it is due to the globalization many multinational companies have arrived in India like Domino's, Pizza Hut, Burger King, etc. So these companies arrived in India when? When we open our economy, they get the opportunity to arrive in India. So first point is the globalization that led to the opening of our economy, and due to this many multinational company like Domino's, Pizza, Burger King, etc. arrived in India and opened their outlet. So that is one reason. Second reason is the urbanization and the busy work culture. See, even sometimes I used to have burger and pizza in my dinner or in my lunch while taking the classes because it is due to our busy work culture. If I am not getting time to go the restaurant and have Indian rice, dal, sabzi, vegetables or paneer, then what would I prefer? Due to the busy culture, even sometimes I also use to have pizza and burger in my dinner or lunch. So it happens with almost every person who is residing in urban area and having very busy work culture. So sometimes I have to take classes for the many hours, 8 hours to 10 hours. So I don't get time to go sit and have proper lunch or dinner like rice, like dal, like vegetables, like paneer, etc. So what would I prefer? I will order a burger and pizza and have few bites and start again and go my to teach you again in very few span of time. So it happens with many people. So that is also a reason. And second, most important reason is husband and wife now both are working in urban areas. This culture has increased in India. So there is very less time left with them to prepare or cook the food. Earlier wife used to cook in the house, but now husband and wife both are working. So who will cook the food? So that's why fast food emerged in India. So it is very easy now to order the pizza, to order the burger. Both are earning. So there is also no problem. Another important point is the impact of globalization on the Indian society and Indian women, especially on the institution of marriage, increasing culture of divorce, separation that led to the single parenting culture. Now many couples have husband wife have divorced, either they are divorced either or they are living in separation, they are not residing together due to their increasing aspiration. So now due to this divorce and separation there is a culture of single parenting, means the same parent is also earning as well as same parent has also the responsibility to give the cooked food to his kids. but due to busy work culture, being single parent, not able to cook the food. So again, what? Fast food. And most important thing, these digital delivery platform like Swiggy, Zomato, Blinkit, Zepto, they have now reached even to tier 2 and tier 3 cities also. Not like Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai or Bangalore. Even they have reached the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And they are giving what? Giving the delivery in 10 minutes and 30 minutes. So come back from the home, relax, sit, relax, and we will deliver food for you. That is how they are working, and that is how India is, there is high growth of fast food industry in India. Again, rising income and lifestyle aspiration. See, having pizza and burger is also a lifestyle for the many people, and this is known as the Westoxification of food habit. Westoxification is a term which denote that Indians are so obsessed with the Western culture that they consider their own culture as inferior. For example, if you are visiting any mall, any shopping mall, any area, any tourist place, then you will search for what? For pizza, for burger, because you are considering that this pizza and burger is a symbol of status, and it is also due to your rising income. You are able to purchase this fast food. So instead of trying the local food, we as Indian, wherever we go, we will get the outlet of Domino's, we will get outlet of McDonald's, we will get outlet of Burger King. So we prefer to eat pizza, burger, fried snack, etc. Why? When we have so much of local food, so much of diversity in our local food. Try the local food now. Why you are always focusing on the pizza and burger? What is the benefit of going to the tourist area when you are not, willing to explore the local food and local culture? So this also, this toxification led to the increasing growth led to the growth of the fast food like pizza, burger, etc. Clear? Next is the globalization technique. Globalization means now the multinational companies, they are very clever. They have get to know that ki Indian peoples own eat non-veg burger, so they have released a new product, McDonald Aloo Tikki Burger, Domino's Paneer Do Pyaza Pizza, because they knew that ki Indian are also going to preserve their own food, their own culture, so they have introduced McDonald Aloo Tikki Burger. Again, that is a burger. Instead of some non-veg material, they have put the aloo tikki. They are selling you the same paneer, which is a fast food, but they have put some 2 or 3 pieces of paneer do pyaza, and now you are thinking that you are eating healthy food, but that is fast food. So now, what are the problems of fast food? These are growing. I told you they have very negative impact on the health. So what are those negative impact? See, what are the negative impacts? See, junk food, they are very high in the trans fat, very high in the sugar, very high in the salt. So when you are consuming too much of trans fat, too much of salt, too much of sugar, what will it lead? It will lead to the spread of non-communicable diseases. See, many people in India, they are suffering from the diabetes mellitus, which is known as diabetes type 2, hypertension, even childhood obesity is there. In the urban areas, you can very easily observe childhood obesity. Even there is a data of NFHS 5, National Family Health Survey 5, that obesity prevalence at 24% urban women and 22% urban men. Means 24% urban women are obese in India and 22% urban men. Again, these fast food are micronutrient deficient. That's why you can see that in global hunger index our rank is not good because of this micronutrient deficiency. And one more negative thing about this growing fast food culture on India is erosion of traditional diets. For example, in South, we used to prefer idli and dosa in our lunch and dinner. Now what? We are preferring pizza and burger, chow mein, snacks, fried snacks. Even in area like UP and Bihar, people used to have bati chokha, sattu drink. In Punjab, people used to have lassi. But now what? All over the India, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, soft drink. So this is also a very negative impact. Now come to the conclusion part of the question. What we could have written in the conclusion. See, in fast food is not a challenge if it is in the moderate amount. So we also need, sometimes we need fast food. In this society, in this era of increasing urbanization and globalization, we can't say that we need to ban the fast food culture. Some people who are not mature, they demand that fast food should be banned. So banning is not an option. You cannot ban anything and stop the forceful consumption forcefully. You have to think that fast food banning is not a solution. So challenge is not the lies in the banning. Challenge is how to make it more affordable, how to make it more nutritious, and how to make it more accessible. The challenge is in the affordability and accessibility and making the fast food more nutritious by innovating the fast food. Clear? Now come to the next question, and that is related to the sustainable development or sustainable growth. Question was achieving sustainable growth with emphasis on environmental protection come into conflict with poor people's need in a country like India. Means in the context of India, if we are trying to achieve sustainable growth or sustainable development with emphasis on the environmental protection, then it may impact adversely the need of our poor people. Means if government is focusing, India is focusing on achieving sustainable growth, sustainable development with emphasis on the environmental protection, conservation of environment, wildlife, river, water body, wetland, mangrove, then this could adversely impact the people's need in India. We have to explain this in our answer. So first of all, let's see what we could have written in the introduction. See, you could have very easily written in the introduction by telling that what is sustainable development and what is the condition or status of poverty in India. So you can also write that India is the most populous country in the world and at the same time having many multidimensional poor people living in India. So if we focus on the development, sustainable development, then our poor people may left behind. So you could have written that world's most populous country, India is the world's most populous country, and it is facing dual challenge or the dual burden. Dual burden of what? Sustaining economic growth while ensuring environment protection. We have to ensure our economic growth also, at the same time also protect the environment growth. And according to Niti Aayog released an index known as multidimensional poverty index. So according to Niti Aayog, nearly 20% of Indians remain multidimensionally poor, and they are heavily dependent on the natural resources for their survival, which in sustainable development we are trying to protect. So they are dependent on those natural resources for their survival. So that will show the intensity ki how sustainable development and need of poor people is in conflict with each other. Clear? Now come to the body part of the question कि why such irony is existing in India. Clear? So why such irony? Because of the dependence of the population on the natural resources. For example, poor people or poor household in India, they are dependent on the forest products, they are dependent on the forest land, they are dependent on the river for the drinking water, they are dependent on the forest produce for their fuel, for their fodder, even for their agriculture, they are dependent on the natural resources. So you could have written all these things. And a ban, suppose there is a ban on the firewood. So what will happen? If we want to protect our forest, so we will ban on the firewood. So this will lead to what? This will lead to the clash with the tribal survival need. Tribal people are surviving on what? On the forest as fodder, as fuel. If we put ban on the firewood, it may clash with the tribal survival need. Next is industrial growth versus livelihood. That is also a reason. How? See, if we put environmental restriction, so this may slow down our pace of industrialization. This may lead to the loss of job in a country which desperately need a job. Suppose for example, if government have banned mining in the Goa as well as in the Karnataka, in order to what? In order to reduce the pollution, environmental pollution. But this happened to what? This led to what? This led to large scale unemployment among the local people due to this ban. So at the one point, at the one time, we also need to ensure our industrial growth. But at the same time, we also want to protect our environment. So whenever we are trying to protect our environment, for example, ban on mining in Goa and Karnataka. So this led to what? Massive unemployment among the local people. Next is the urbanization and pollution control. See, we also need urbanization. We also need pollution control. Clear? Suppose for example, many slum area in India, they are residing near what? Near the river bank of the near the bank of the river or the near the wetland. So suppose if government for the urbanization evicting those people from those areas, so this may lead to the problem of the settlement in the urban area for the poor people. See, government is trying to preserve the wetland, preserve the river floodplain, but this led to what? This led to the eviction of the people from the those area, and this will create a problem of the settlement, problem of habitation. For example, you can write about the Yamuna river in Delhi. है ना? Yamuna floodplain clearance led to what? Led to many people homeless or led to the development of another slum. Next is the energy transition. See, we are trying to move from the non-renewable energies to renewable energies. For that, we are phasing out our coal production. We are reducing our coal production. For what? To make green energy. But green energy projects are creating displacement in the people. For example, how? See, green energy project means what? Solar power project, yeah, wind farm project. So this solar power project or the wind farm project, this will lead to the displacement of the people residing in that area. Yeah, if we are phasing down, yeah, cutting down our coal production, this will lead to what? This will reduce our population's opportunity to get employment. And other problem is the high cost of clean alternative like LPG. Government is promoting LPG, but LPG is not affordable to the poor people. Another problem is the urban green measure like the vehicle ban in Delhi or in any urban area. So this will lead to the problem of unemployment among the poor people or who are dependent on these vehicles. So if government is focusing on the sustainable development, it is creating a conflict with the survival of the poor people. Now what? See, government has done many things. to solve this problem. For example, Manrega, which was launched in 2005. Now Manrega is also providing some eco-friendly projects like afforestation under Manrega. See, if people get unemployed due to any of the government drive for the sustainable development, they can also work under Manrega for the afforestation, yeah, for the watershed development, yeah, for the pond digging, for the rainwater harvesting. That is also a job for the rainwater harvesting. It is environment friendly as well as creating job also. Clear? Again, government has introduced Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. See, I was telling you that poor people are not able to afford the LPG gas. So government is providing LPG gas as subsidized rate to the poor people, free connection to the BPL families. This will also lead to what? This will also lead to the improvement in the health of the women. Clear? They don't have to inhale the smoke. Their health will improve. And this will at the same time protect what? Protect our forest. Their dependency on the firewood will reduce. So this will lead to what? Protection of the forest. And government also launched National Afforestation Program as well as Green India Mission. For what? To engage the local community in the ecology restoration and at the same time to provide them livelihood opportunity. So government is providing employment to the people, livelihood opportunity to the people, and the same time through these programs government is also focusing on the engaging local people in the restoration of ecology. Again, PM Kusum या Jal Jeevan Mission 2019 launched in 2019 is what? हर घर नल से जल, Jal Jeevan Mission. Every household should get a water from the tap. This will lead to what? Household will get pure, safe drinking water. At the same time, it will reduce over extraction of the groundwater. Now come to the PM Kusum scheme. PM Kusum, it is a scheme to give subsidy to the farmers to use solar pump, and at the same time they, by using this scheme and by generating surplus energy, they can sell that energy to the government. So this will lead to what? This will lead to the green development. Farmers' dependency on the coal based electricity will reduce. Farmer will get solar pump. This will lead to the green energy supported pump, as well as this will reduce the consumption of the diesel or use of diesel in agriculture. At the same time, if they are producing surplus energy or surplus electricity, they can sell this surplus electricity to the government and also earn some money. So government is trying to resolve such irony by these things. Clear? You could have written the conclusion. See, how you can conclude this? See, there will be a conflict. There will always be a conflict between the environmental protection and poor people need. But that is reconcilable. That could be solved. And we have to solve this. Why we have to solve this? Because if we want to achieve our SDGs, SDG 1 means zero poverty, or SDG 13 or climate action highlight. So India must adopt policies which ensure the sustainable growth as well as the growth of its people, as well as ensure the survival of its people. So there will be conflict, but government should try to develop a sustainable and inclusive model for what? For the preservation of ecology, for the generation of employment, in order to achieve SDG 1, SDG 13 by 2030. So I have told you कि in writing the conclusion, while writing conclusion, you can also add your SDG goals. This will give you few extra marks in your answer. Clear? Now come to the next question. And this question is regarding to the tribal development. See, does tribal development in India center around two axes? What are the two axes? Means they are saying that tribal development in India is centered around two axes. Two axes of what? Two axes of displacement and rehabilitation. Clear? Give your opinion. You have to tell in this answer that whether the tribal development in India is only leading to displacement or only creating the issue of rehabilitation, or there is something else. Means does tribal development goes beyond development and rehabilitation, or it is only Xed between the 2 points and 2 center, that is displacement and rehabilitation. So first in such question you can give the example or the data ki what is the tribal population in India. So according to the census 2011, 8.6% of India's population is the tribal population. And this tribal population in India is residing or living where? That is in those regions that is resource rich. So if government try to extract those resource rich region or to development of that region, this make those tribal vulnerable to these development induced disruptions. If government is trying to do development in those resource rich region, this will lead to what? This will lead to the problem of displacement and the rehabilitation. So it is partially valid. It is not completely that ki tribal development is only around displacement and rehabilitation. It led to the problem of displacement and rehabilitation, but it also goes beyond the issue of displacement and rehabilitation. See how. First, we will explain ki how tribal development is leading to the displacement. You could have written multiple examples and points in such question which was recently in news. See, for example, over 60 million people have been displaced or uprooted since independence by the projects like dam, mining, infrastructure, etc. And in this 60 million, over 60 million people who have been uprooted or displaced by the infrastructural project or development project like dam and mining, 40% people are tribal population. Clear? So only 40% people, they are tribal. Clear? Now come to the next point. Recently, Chhattisgarh's Hasdev forest area. Chhattisgarh's Hasdev forest area, people were displaced because of why? Because government want coal mining in that area. So this led to the problem of the alienation, problem of injustice among the people, because this led to the loss of livelihood. Forest was cleared from the Hasdev region of Chhattisgarh. And in many areas, Adivasi communities in India, like in southern India, Chenchu tribe in Nallamala forest in Andhra area, they are facing the threat due to the development. They are facing the problem of displacement and rehabilitation. Even in Jharkhand, you can write down the data that in Jharkhand, the population which was displaced, affected from the displacement is 7.5% of the national tribal population. Clear? So there are many projects like Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor. This is again what? A development. This lead to displacement. Again, Sardar Sarovar Dam project. This displaced nearly 20 lakh individuals. So whenever government trying to do development, expedite its development work, infrastructure project, mining, dam, etc., this led to the problem of the displacement. And the problem of displacement also led to the problem of the rehabilitation. For example, there is an act, Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act 2013. It mandates fair compensation for the land acquisition. If government have done any land acquisition, it should give fair compensation to people. but only 20 to 30% of the displaced tribal population received proper rehabilitation. Even in South Indian tribal population, their resettlement pattern, their land use pattern, their food security, that is also impacted. They have displaced but could not be replaced or rehabilitated by the government. But does it means कि development process या tribal development process in India only acts around the rehabilitation and displacement? No. There are other points also. Tribal development goes beyond the displacement and rehabilitation. How? Through CSR, corporate social responsibility, even private companies are offering livelihood opportunity to the tribal people. That is a very good point. Infrastructure inclusion in the remote area. Those remote areas who were already not having access to the infrastructure, they have infrastructure in these areas. Even education access for the tribal population and their kids. Now they are getting high quality of education. Recently, a tribal girl also pass NEET exam and get MBBS seat in a government college. That is a good thing. Even there is multi-sectoral tribal upliftment of the people because of the skill development as well as their digital inclusion. So it is not like that that tribal development is only about the displacement and rehabilitation. See, there will be problem of displacement and rehabilitation, but the tribal development also goes beyond displacement and rehabilitation. Clear? Now come to the conclusion part of this question. See, you could have written that tribal development, yeah, true tribal development would be what? True tribal development would be their displacement as well as their rehabilitation should be addressed immediately, should be recognized by the government. There will be, whenever there will be tribal development, there will be displacement, there will be issue of rehabilitation. First, government should recognize it and then try to address it by promoting self-governance, by ensuring that this development is inclusive, and this development will happen with them by including them, not without them. We have to earn this confidence of tribal people if we want a sustainable and long-term tribal population. I hope in your answers you could have used at least 60 to 70% what I have discussed in this class. So see, here while discussing the paper, we first do our research, then we come with this answer. So if you are not able to write all these things, but you are able to write at least 70% of all these what I have discussed, consider yourself in for the interview. Don't get yourself frustrated ki, oh, I have forget this point and that point and that point, I could have written this and that. You won't be able to give 100% whatever you have read while preparing. You are just expected to give at least 70% what you have read, what you have studied throughout the year. So if you have at least written 70% of what I have discussed, consider yourself in for the interview. And best of luck from my side. And for those who are preparing for the next year, don't take Indian society lightly. Otherwise, you will regret and your one entire year will be ruined. Best of luck to all those from my side. We will meet soon.